Hey, everybody. I will let Dr. Li put on his presentation, but again, apologies for the late start. One of our webinars just ended, so we will get started here in a second, and after he gets set up. Thank you so much for joining. Everybody, thank you for joining. We just hopped off of another webinar, so apologies for being a couple minutes late to start. Dr. Li will pull up his presentation here in a second. Any help on your end? Okay, gotcha. I think if you go to the three dots and then settings, you should be able to choose your microphone. Perfect. I hear you.
Let me go over there.
I think you might have to log out of one of them.
Okay,
Yep.
does this work?
Yes. Perfect.
Okay, yeah, I switched web browser, so I'm sure it works. Let's see if I can share my screen. Let me allow it to.
No problem. Take your time.
Yeah, it's. I should give permission to use for Zoho to access my desktop, so I can share.
While you're figuring that out, I will actually go ahead and plug, so I don't have to do this at the end, is hope to see you all tonight at our keynote speaker, Tiffany Sauter, the CEO of Element 3 and the host of the Scared Confident podcast. She will be our speaker tonight at CVR, which is a local marketing agency downtown. And I did want to give the group a warning that there's some construction in front of CVR, but don't let that be intimidating to you. There's a parking lot there, and then they provided parking directions. There's a lot of street parking around. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. But yeah, that's why I wanted to just plug that before we get started here.
Oh, thank you. Are you able to see my screen? Or?
Yeah, there's a little dialog box in front of it that says provide screen sharing permission, but I don't know.
So let's see if I share. Are you able to see it?
I see us. I see the recording or like our webinar.
Did you see my slides or?
Oh, not your slides.
Okay. Oh. So you're not able to see my slides. Let's see.
What platform are they on? Do you want to try emailing them to me?
I'm using Google Slides.
Somebody did say that you need to pick entire screen when you hit share.
Yeah, I hit this entire
Okay.
screen. Somehow, it didn't shows up. Yeah, I share my entire screen. Somehow it doesn't shows anything. Let me see. Or I can send to you. Are you able to share?
I can try it.
Yeah, so sorry for that.
Oh, I see here.
Mhm.
It says I have to request access, so I'm going to do that.
Okay, so let me change everything. So yeah, you should be able to do it right now. Yep.
Okay. Let me try it here.
Mhm.
Hold on just a second, guys. Um, Let me know if you can see it, or if you can you see
Yeah,
any?
I can see it. Yeah. So
Okay. Let me.
okay.
We might just have to do it like this, if that's okay.
Good.
Yeah, because I don't. If I hit present, can you still see that?
Yeah, I still see it. Yeah.
Like full screen?
Yeah, the full screen.
Okay. I can't see you guys anymore. So, yeah, just let me know when to hit next.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your help. Yeah. So
Yeah,
we
no
appreciate
problem.
it. Oh, sorry everyone for setting this up. It takes a while. But yeah, I'm so glad you attend my my webinar and talking about how thinking like a magician can benefit designers. Especially, I'm gonna introduce this magic-based pedagogies. Yeah, I'm sorry. Could you make it full screen? So, oh, yeah. Yeah, so, yep. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so I'm gonna talk about a little bit about my identity. So I have two identities here. The first one, I'm an assistant professor at Ball State. I'm teaching UX UI design. And at the same time, please click, thank you. And at the same time, I'm a magician. I'm a member of International Brotherhood of Magicians and also a member of Society of American Magicians as well. So when I have time, I usually perform tricks for children for different events, and also I design my own magic show as well. So next, please. Thank you. So I want to, before we dive into how magic should be used as a pedagogy to teach design and UX design, those kind of things, I want to have a little bit of talk about the magic itself. Magic as a unique performing art. So I have a question associated with that. Thank you. So what does the magic mean to you? I don't know if you can you can talk or share, or you can just type your answers in the chat, so we should be able to see it. So yeah, maybe just think about it. What does the magic as art to you? What does that mean, or what kind of experience it creates whenever you see you watch a magic show on TV or in the theater, or uh, any magic on social media. Yeah, so please feel free to type, and I will reveal my answers as well. Do you have anyone want to share the opinion, or? All right, if not, I'm gonna reveal my answer. Okay. So next, please. Thank you. Yeah. So I think this is my answer. This is my understanding. And I think magic, the goal of magic is to create a sense of wonder in people's mind, using whatever maybe illusions to create this sense of wonder, and to raise people's curiosity. And so, and you may wonder how to design, create a magic trick to achieve that. There are many different, there are a lot of things involved to achieve this goal. So you may have necessary skills, such as misdirection, and you may need to learn sleight of hands, and also you may have a good understanding about psychology, because you have to constantly analyze what the audience is thinking. And so in order to trick them or create that sense of wonder, and sometimes it involves or requires the magician to create their own props, or magic tools, because some magic tricks involve this kind of like a certain tools to help magician to achieve the trick. And so it involves a sense of creation process. And not only that, it involves storytelling. You have to have a good stories in order to make your magic tricks work, because the trick is a trick. But if you add a story to it, that will make it more meaningful. Of course, it involves constant testing and to get feedback from the audience and make sure that the trick you designed really works. So next, please. Thank you. So, and before we talk about this, the magic design, I want to show you uh, a trick that you can do at home, probably. Uh, so the trick is kind of related to dual reality. But before we dive into this topic, I'm going to show you. Can you see me, or are you able to see me? Or do you have a pen at home? You can grab a pen. All right. Uh, so could we stop sharing the screen so they can see me? Or thank you. Do you have a pen in your hand? Um, so I can now see you. So if you are able to type of words, yes, or I should be able to see it. All right. So
if you guys chat in the Q&A, he can see it. But other than that, or yeah, do a reaction. But other than that, I don't think they have that ability to
okay,
do
sorry.
that.
Yeah, I was in the chat. I was opening the chat, but there's nothing in the chat. So sorry about that. Now I'm able to see it in the Q&A. So yeah, I'm used to Zoom, so I assume the chat enable you to put everything.
This is a new program to me too. So
So
yeah,
it's a totally new platform. There's nothing there in the chat. I was like, okay, where's everybody? So thank you. Yeah, now I saw.
Q&A. If you look in the
all the
Q&A, though, it looks
responses.
like there's several things.
Yeah. We gotta. So yeah. Thank you so much. So if you're ready, if you have pen on your hand, so I should be able to show you this trick. So this is a trick I'm gonna show you. So it just only involves in pen. All right, whatever pencil, whatever, all kinds of pencil. So what you're gonna do is I'm gonna count to 3, right? So what I'm gonna do is watch 1, 2, and 3. The pen will be gone and will disappear from your hand. You probably wonder what's going on here. So anybody figure out how to achieve that? Yeah, feel free to let me know your answer. Yeah. So are you able to do that, or yeah? But you drop it. That's great. Yeah. So watch carefully. So I'm gonna show you again. All right. So 1, 2, and 3. It's just in the middle there, and I can produce it very quickly. So yeah. So some of you may have a theory how it works. So maybe we can share the slides a little bit. I will teach you this trick. So thank you very much. Yeah. Can we share the slides a little bit? Thank you.
Yep, trying to pull it up here.
Thank you.
Again.
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
okay. So thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
So this is the concept called dual reality, which is quite important, I think. I wanted to help you to see the connections between magic and the design, and especially UX design. So a lot of times, for magicians, when they perform any tricks, so the reality perceived by the magician are quite different from the perspective or perception of the audience. So are you ready for this trick? So here's what you saw from your perspective. So the effect is to make this trick to make it disappear, basically. So what it can do is, like, from your hand, from your perspective, you look like this. It was gone, and just like that. So, but from magician's perspective, so I can show you like this. So what I did was 1, 2. You see the flip? I flip the pen. That's a reality I experience, and this is the reality you experience, or the audience experience. And that's the first step, is you flip the pen. So maybe you can see it over here. Yeah, so you see here. And the second step, to make my hand empty, I have to drop it. Jean, yeah, someone, you got the correct answer. The second step, I drop it, so I can show my both hands empty. So that's basically how it works. So it involves slamming hands, but also perspective control. And most important concept is this dual reality. So the reality magician experienced are quite different from the perspectives. So next slide, please. So this is, if you think about it, this is vanishing effect, right? So that's the experience, that's the goal I want to achieve. The next slide, please. And so if I wanted to achieve this effect, as a magician, I have to constantly analyze what the audience is thinking, to analyze their mindset. And could you click a little bit? Click one side. Yeah. Yeah, so this magic is kind of like the connection between you and me. In order to, make this trick work, make you to experience this vanishing effect, I have to use my act. I have to think about my act, refine my act, and think about the perspective or the angle you saw, and how to make it work. So it's not only just a flip, it looks like a flip, right? From my perspective. So I have to do a lot of details in order to make it work. For instance, I have to shake my hand. It look like a vanish. And also I need to control the angle a little bit, because I cannot, maybe I can show you like this, but you can see the flip. So the best angle is to do like this. So you can see I have to constantly switch my mind from your perspective and to the audience perspective, and also to do the control and to change my act. That's basically how a magician think. Next slide, please. But what does that mean to the designers? So next slide, please. So if you think about the designers, especially UI, if you are UX, UI designers, it's the same game you play. So would you click, please? Thank you. Because we're not communicating directly with the users. A lot of cases, you communicate through your design. It could be your app, it could be whatever product you design, and the user use it. So a lot of times, we may constantly have to analyze what users are thinking. Could you click, please? Thank you. Because there's a concept called a mental model, because the way how we perceive the system sometimes as a designer may different from the users. So that's why if a good user designer, we have to constantly take a perspective of the audience and think and encourage them and motivate us to think, to put ourselves in the shoes of the users, and to make sure our mental models match each other. So whenever the users use the app we created, they don't experience they understand the design very easily. It's user friendly to them, so they don't encounter any challenges. So next, please. So if sometimes we experience some bad designs, that's because the mental model of the users are quite different from designer. And probably for designers, those interfaces are pretty clear to them. But for users who use it, they may get lost immediately. So that's why when the designer's mental model are not well aligned with users' mental model. So next, please. And so that's why it doesn't matter whether you're a designer or a magician, we have to constantly test your performance and test your design. So the techniques are very similar. So next, please. So and for designers, we use different prototypes, right? We create a low-fi prototypes and to do the testing. And so some magicians will do very similar. They think about an act or effect, and they do very quick testing from the audience, try to see how it looks, the audience reaction. Next, please. And it's really similar. Like prototype is just the illusion you created in users' mind to make them feel that they are using your actual product. But actually, it's not an actual product, but it should enable you to collect some feedback really quickly. So that's the first thing I use in my class, and to encourage students to learn about the mental model, the importance of mental model. Because I'm teaching a design class, it's most of students in my class are gonna be UX designers, UI designers. So this is kind of like intro class to introduce different kind of concepts in UX design. The first concept I teach them is the mental model. How important it is to take perspective from users and constantly analyze the mental model of the users and compare with their own mental model, and so as to design a product that cater to the needs of the audience. And so I introduced this concept using magic tricks. So they perform the magic tricks, and to their classmates, and to think about how you have to, in order to make this trick work, you have to constantly analyze their mental model. So next, please. So for instance, this is we show the next slide. So this is what they maybe previous one, yeah. So this is, yeah, sorry, yeah. So this is how they, make the feathers suspend in the middle of the air. And I teach them this trick. And then I also ask them, hey, could you perform it in front of others who never seen this trick before? And to think about what it looked like to be a magician, and also to think about, hey, in order to make this trick work, you have to accept a dual reality. You have to think about the perspectives from the audience and compare it with your own perspective as a magician, so as to make it really work. And so they learn this mental model concept through performing and learning magic tricks. Thank you. Next, please. So this is kind of like the background of the class I'm teach. It's called Emerging Media Design Development class. It's a 1 semester long project-based graduate level design class. I have 10 to 15 students every semester. So I teach them prototyping, design thinking, UI, UX design, and the magic is a way to kind of like guide them engaged and introduce those concepts. So the mental model is the first concept I use magic to talk about. If you go to the next slide, that shows another purpose of it. It's kind of like I use magic as a way to promote their design creativity. Because magic, when you do the magic in the classroom, when you teach design concepts, that promote a sense of play. So next, please. So they can play. They have a lot. They feel like the classroom is not a classroom anymore. It allowed them to think divergently. Sometimes a lot of cool ideas they will come up with if they think divergently, because that increases the chance for them to come up with creative ideas. I don't want any limitations on their mind, especially during the ideation phase, for them to come up with some cool ideas. So next, please. And what makes magic unique is that it promotes a sense of impossible, and it turn impossible into possible. So because whenever they saw the trick, this will encourage them, how is that possible? Is it? But they witnessed the possibility to make impossible things possible. So they were encouraged to think in this way. Can we do something similar to the magicians? And this put them on the magician's hat, to think about, okay, in my design, can I do something very similar to amaze people, to come up with some cool features or something different, original, to not surprise, but make and create a magical experience for my users as well. Next, please. So for instance, this trick is called a levitation. This is the trick I showed you earlier. So what does this mean to design? What kind of inspirations that designers can get from this trick? So if you go to next slides, I show you several examples here. So the idea of levitation, it encourage people, maybe designers, to come up with something like magical lamps, magical lights, light bulb. So it's used similar levitation effect to kind of like it's really surprise people and make it fun and make this product fun and interesting. And if you go to the next slide, I prepared more similar products. It's using similar concepts of levitation. I think they use magnetic power to make the lamps suspend in the middle of the air, and they took it further. This took the moon, and it's a really cool effect. Even though it's similar to the magic trick, I think it's more like a useful product as well. So next, please. So I think it's not only just the magic trick, the effect. I think magic will kind of like encourage them to challenge impossibility and the evasion of possibilities. So this is what I try to encourage them to do in my class. So next, please. And so you probably wonder, how does the magic trick influence their project? How did you align the magic creation process with their, a design process, actual design process? So I want to talk a little bit about the project they did in this class, because I don't. So I wanted them to think beyond the magic itself. It's more about the magician's thinking and how you think like magicians, to challenge impossibilities, to create a sense of wonder in people's mind, and use whatever design solutions to benefit this world. So next, please. So this is so in my class, students not only learn tricks in my class, in the classroom, but we also do some real world projects. So this is the greenhouse at Ball State University. Next, please. So it provides a space for students to learn all kinds of plants and animals. It's free to the public, and so this semester I decided to collaborate with the greenhouse and to provide a space for our students to do something really cool. Initially, when the collaboration starts, we have no idea what kind of design solution they will come up with. But it's just to create a playground for our students uh, to to come up with some cool design solutions. Next, please. So the first thing we did was like they organized a visiting tour to the greenhouse. Someone in the greenhouse, the director of the greenhouse, introduced the whole space to our students. So after the tour, I asked them two questions. So which is next slide. Thank you. It's like I put the magician hat on them. And it's like, ask them, what kind of magical opportunities did you find, or those magical moments or design opportunities for them, and also ask them, what is your magical effect? So I want to encourage them to describe the solution they may come up with. Just describe the concept of it. So that's the magician hat I encourage them to put on. So if you go to the next slide, thank you. I kind of like lead ask them to have a discussion with their team members, and to talk about, hey, what are all the possible opportunities there so they can contribute, and also think about what kind of like magical solution, magical effect they come up with. Next, please. So what they did was ask them to put thoughts on post notes and put it on the blackboard and whiteboard, and to group them and to see what kind of like patterns they come up with. What is the problem over there for the greenhouse, and what opportunities there exist, and what kind of solutions they come up with. So once they do that, next please. I ask them, hey, now it's similar to magicians, similar to the tricks, whatever tricks you did in the classroom. And now it's time to create your magic props and to visualize the trick, visualize your magic. So basically what they do is that they go back to the classroom, and they start to create props, to create prototypes to demonstrate their solutions. Next, please. So that's first that I teach them to use a paper prototype, to create a paper prototype to demonstrate the idea with rapid prototyping, and then they just got involved, and it created those paper prototypes. So next, please. And so this is I think on the left is the paper is they try to simulate the environment and where this app will be implemented. And on the right side, they create some paper prototypes to demonstrate the screens, the interfaces of their design solutions. Next, please. So, and also I tell them, and also I kind of like after they develop the prototype, the lo-fi prototype, so I encourage them to, I contact the director and ask them to, ask my student to present to her. And I tell them, as a good magician, you have to be a good storyteller. The trick itself is just a trick, but if you add a story to it, that's going to be different. So, and also, as a designer, ask them to be a good storyteller as well. And when you present your product, or present your concept, you have to think about who are your audience and why the design solution matters, and how you, and what kind of like a magical experience it will bring to the audience. So next, please. So they got prepared and they show their tricks. I think they show their designs to the stakeholders, to the director, and get the feedback from the director. Next, please. So this after I talked with the stakeholders, and they started to work on the main fidelity prototypes. This is one of the project that students come up with. So it's a treasure hunt game they designed for the greenhouse. So basically, the students, whenever the visitors they visit the greenhouse, they can use this app and play this game to learn about each plant. It kind of like motivated the visitors to go to a certain place, to learn more about the plants, and to play this game. So basically, the idea behind it is like the visitors, they have to. So this is the third place is the map, and on the map there are different treasures. Those treasures means different plants they have to find. So after they find those plants, they need to interact with the plant, and there's a QR code over there, and there's the plant. They need to find this QR code and to read the introduction of the plants, so they have some ideas about the plants or the animals, and then they gonna answer some questions. So we use this as a way to encourage them to learn more about the plants and to interact more and to gamify the user experience. So yeah, next please. So this is the QR code they put on the plants poster. So next please. So, and then, similar to the magic show, you have to perform the trick to the audience to collect some feedback. So they tested in the greenhouse and collect some feedback from the users. Next, please. So, and after the feedback, they kind of like summarize what do they want to change, how to improve their magic trick or magic solutions. And then, next, please. And then if you click, they have a great time over there, and so they can see that how those users can actually use their app and to benefit themselves, and they can see the impact they make immediately, how that app change their visiting experience and make it fun and interesting. So yeah, that's basically, I hope that this case that can help you to basically see the different, how magic could be used in the classroom and to facilitate different phases of the design process. So, I mean, magic trick is just a trick, but if you take it further, you can identify a lot of cool things and also a lot of alignments with the design. I think, as educators, I think it's a good way to promote students, to encourage students to learn about design and encourage them to make impact, like create a magic tricks for the audience. So that's that's pretty much all I have. So if you have any questions, I would like to answer. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the presentation. Guys, if you have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat box. Dr. Li, am I saying that correctly, Dr. Li? Or is it Dr. Lai?
Yeah, Tong, you can call me Tong. Yeah,
Okay, Tong. They cannot see each other's questions, so if you wouldn't mind reading the question out loud whenever they come in.
Sure, yeah, I would do that.
Perfect.
Yeah. Good.
And we'll give everybody a few minutes to type it in. I'll give it another minute or so. Looks like we don't have any questions. Tom, thank you so much for your time today. For those who are still on here, just a reminder that we have another virtual talk later this afternoon, and then our keynote speaker is at 4 today. Last reminder is we will end Indie Design Week with a design and art market tomorrow at the Stutz building, which is open to the public, free for Indie Design Week attendees, and then there's going to be actually they sold out on vendor booths, so it'll be awesome. So go out there. Hope to see you tonight and hope to see you tomorrow. But thank you again, Tong, for the presentation. Really enjoyed.
Thank you for your help. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Bye.